Do you ever wonder why the government is sponsoring the explosion of South African population? The growth of population fast is a problem for the economy. That is why even in China there was a time when there was a one-child policy. People were not allowed to have even 2 children. Even today, they are just trying to relax those restrictions. But then why is the South African government sponsoring population growth by giving grants even to children? Of course, they want votes, but that's not the only reason. The government intends to sell South African children. These children who are being born every day. These children who are exploding like flies. These children, the government has an intention for them. These are the children who are going to be sold to China. Even in this time of AIDS epidemic, the government keeps on giving the mothers the medicine to prevent the children from being infected. The government doesn't care about the mothers. The government doesn't care about the parents, because the mothers and the fathers don't feature in the government plan. The government plan is that these children, when the population will have exploded to the extent that they will not be able to offer the grants, they will ship them to China for payment. The payment will be for all the parties in parliament. They will get proportional share of the payment for the children of South Africa, and the ruling party will be getting the lion's share. That is what the government intends to do with the children of South Africa. They are going to be sold to China, and their mothers and fathers will have died of AIDS. Nobody is going to claim them. They will tell the country that the children have been sent to universities. You will find that in 10 million children, only 50 will come back as graduates, and the rest will be told that they decided to stay in China. But the truth is, they are going to be sold into slavery. They are going to boost slave labor of China. That is at least for the lucky ones who will have a bit of education. The unlucky ones who will be street kids. The government also have a very good purpose for them. They will all be picked up by police as criminals, and in prison they will be killed, and their body parts will be sold to China. Today, the Chinese are killing their prisoners and selling the body parts to America. You know about the people with heart conditions, liver conditions, and the kidney conditions. Those parts can be harvested, and they will be harvested from South African children. Those who will be sold into slavery will be castrated. Their genitals will be cut, and to make sure that they must not produce any colored people in China. People are surprised why the Chinese don't have colored people, but Chinese always had slaves, even during the time of their emperors. But they make sure to castrate all the slaves to ensure that they don't reproduce in China or with the Chinese people. The government's plan for all the children that they're sponsoring with social grants is to kill them and harvest their body parts to be sold in China. The government's plan for this population that it is sponsoring is to sell them to China to be slaves. Our children and grandchildren are going to be slaves in China. That is the secret plan of this government of South Africa. If you don't believe it, ask your councillor. If you don't believe it, ask your mayor. If you don't believe it, ask your presidential legislature, if you don't believe as your member of parliament, if you don't believe as a minister, if you don't believe as the president himself. The government is sponsoring population explosion in South Africa because the government wants to trade in our children. The government wants to sell our children into slavery in China, to boost the slave trade, the slave labor in China, and the government intends to kill our children and harvest their body parts to be sold to China. That is the main reason and the only reason. This is the second reason after vote buying why the government is sponsoring population explosion in South Africa instead of providing jobs to people and providing quality education.